If you're just joining this journey without having watched the previous videos, this video series is the story of my overland adventure through Oregon and Washington. Over the span of 2 weeks, I traced approximately 2,600 miles of rugged backcountry roads and remote Pacific Northwest wilderness, living out of my Jeep dispersed camping the entire time. I mostly followed the Oregon and Washington Pacific Crest Overland routes, and the Olympic Traverse route. I also deviate from the PCORs and follow a few small sections of the Oregon and Washington backcountry discovery routes at times, since they crisscross each other many times and often follow very similar or identical paths.
Good morning. We found this awesome spot right by the river, and I could not be happier with it. Look at this place. Right on the river. Our closest neighbor's clear down there. We had to go through quite the boulder field to get in here, but it wasn't too much of a problem. And it is quite damp this morning, as you can see with this blanket I left out on this chair. It did not rain, that is all just dew. Everything is very damp. But some prices must be paid for a river spot like this. We are on our way to do the Hall of Mosses Trail again because it was so magical, and I really want to get some 360 footage of it with the 360 camera through it. Yesterday I only brought my actual camera, but I think the 360 cam will be also very, very cool through there. So
I did indeed end up going and doing the Hall of Mosses Trail again with the 360 camera. I was super excited about it, and honestly, none of the footage turned out even usable. I've owned all three, the X3, X4, and X5 Insta360, and it kind of just seems like the footage either comes out great or just borderline unusable. And recently I actually got rid of the thing over favor of the Osmo 360, which I feel like does a much better job. The Insta360s are great for social media clips, smaller screens, I've noticed. It almost always turns out really good looking for those kind of things. But up on a big screen on YouTube, it's just more often than not, I can't even use the footage coming out of it, even the X5. I think it's really the 8-bit color depth holding the Insta360s back versus the Osmo 360 now is 10-bit. And on a bigger screen, that just makes a world of a difference. Luckily, I still got all the footage from the previous day, which is in my last Olympic Peninsula video. All of these clips are literally just in the handful of miles leading off of 101 up to the Hall of Mosses trailhead area. It's such an amazing, amazing area, and it's just mind-blowing, really. After the Hall of Mosses trail, I decided to shoot back over to the coast for a little bit to hit up Rialto Beach.
We are here at Rialto Beach. Let's see what this looks like. There we go. Oh yeah. That is a pretty beach right there. What a vibe. Got those little stack things going on out there. Go get him. Get him. We just got done doing Rialto Beach, which is really cool. I'm glad I made this little detour for it. Hole in the Rock was unfortunately inaccessible due to the tides at the time, but still very much worth it to come here. It would be cool to backpack here one day. We are refueled and headed to our next little off-road section. Looks like up and down another mountain again, which should be fun. And then I have a spot picked out that in theory we should be getting to right around camp time by the time we get up and down this mountain, in theory. The entire ground here is just clover. Straight clover. Just as far up as you can see. Somebody has kindly marked this pothole with these sticks. Because look at that thing. That is a pothole. That's my tire for scale. And that hole is gigantic. Gabby could disappear in that hole. It's the middle of the road here. Look at that. If I lived here, I swear I would spend all my time chasing random waterfalls like this. Just random unnamed waterfalls in the jungle. Or the rainforest, I mean. Same. Maybe. Kind of. Not really, but look at that lighting. We have a serious problem. A quite large, quite hard problem. If this edge wasn't here, I could just climb over that. It's this one that I obviously cannot just climb over. These ones that I'm standing on, I could most certainly climb over. That is way too large to move. Maybe with the sense of scale here. Rock, Jeep. That's a big old rock. All these are big old rocks. I'm gonna pull up right here and just judge how wide I am. If I can skirt this, even if I have to put tires up on the side of this rock, that's perfectly fine. Oh, it came down from there, it looks like. So I'm gonna pull up and just kind of judge the space here. That's too big to even winch out of the way. Not only that, but this whole road right here is kind of sketch. As you can see, over here too. It's just that rock that's the problem. If that rock right there wasn't there, and all the rest still were, I could climb over that without issues. Use my mirror here to judge where that edge is. It's quite close. I don't even think I can get around this first rock, yet alone. I could get up over that, but we're gonna have to turn around and backtrack this. Well, I don't think there's any getting around this one, honestly. That rock is just way too large to even attempt to move. This is a sheer drop right here, like underneath this brush. I'm just too wide for this right here. It is what it is, I guess. Not much to do about it. I'm also a little too close to that for my liking. to be quite honest. So this is what, let's see, we are, that triangle right there. And this is what we have left to do, is this red. So all we have left is that much. The only route around that is to go clear back here. From there, clear back here. And then I could go up that and down there. I'm gonna have to go all the way back. I'm gonna have to backtrack clear to Forks and then take the 101 over. That is pretty obnoxious, to be quite honest, but Gerbs, what do you think? This thing will track a dog face, apparently. I did not know that until now. This thing will track your face, Gerbs. What do you think about it? You don't look amused with it. Is he not amused? You know, he's pretty though. On the plus side, a very big plus side, I'm actually not that mad because the drive up here on, what is this called? Sitcom Salduck Road. So beautiful that I literally put like a star like waypoint on it to just be reminded that it's a gem, an absolute gem of a road to go on. So now I just get to go back on it the other way down. So is what it is, I guess. It's like a 2-for-1 special of this beautiful route up here. I think I'm starting to discover my favorite time on the Olympic Peninsula here, at least on the western side, is from like 3:34 to like 6:30-ish. That's when the light rays are really just like super golden, angled, shining through the trees and illuminating all the moss on the branches, and just the golden light mixed with the sheer level of green is out of this world. It's very hard for me to even put words to it.
After backtracking on that beautiful drive back to Highway 101, I continued clockwise around the peninsula. I had a pin marked for a campsite already for this night, thanks to Revere Overland's Patreon, I believe it was. So I headed towards almost to Lake Crescent and started heading up the mountain directly above Clahoya Campground. There's also a lookout up here I wanted to go to called Cloche Nanich Lookout. I'm probably absolutely butchering the pronunciation of all of this stuff. Where I'm from, we call creeks the crick, mountains as mountains, four-wheelers as fourlers. So you'll just have to bear with me with pronouncing some things.
So the campsite I had marked looking out over there was a no-go, as you just seen. The road does not exist anymore. Like, it's not just overgrown, it's like there's not a road anymore. There's a road on the map, but you can't see it anymore. I don't know what's the road and what's the cliff. So we're going out here, I guess, to by this lookout tower and seeing if there's a place to camp around the lookout tower, possibly. Hopefully. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to backtrack clear down this mountain. And it's 7:40. I got that pin from Revere Overland. Shout out to Revere Overland. That must have just been from a few years ago, I think. It's probably the case, and it is. There's not a road anymore. So unfortunately, there was a very, very nice spot at the lookout tower, it looked like. But there's somebody there. But it's no big deal. We just came down the road here. We won't get a view like he has. And I think it's a very good view. But we will get the view in the morning, hopefully, if he's left. We're at 3,100 feet, which is very high for here. Very high. I think this is the highest we've been on the Olympic Peninsula so far, by far. So we're just gonna set up camp here. I think it's gonna be a little chilly up here tonight, but